All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis's response to Rolly Romero, who is out there, still must be concussed after that knockout, talking all kind of craziness. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We are in the lightweight division talking about Rolly Romero and Gervonta Tank Davis's fight last night. Gervonta Tank Davis finally responds to a lot of lip bumping by Rolly Romero, who in my opinion, sportsmanship leaves a little bit to be desired. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for or a new or a long time subscriber. Thank you very much for your support. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. All right, so there was a big fight last night. Rolly Romero fought Gervonta Tank Davis for Gervonta Davis's WBA 135-pound title. Winds up getting knocked out in the 6th round, as many people had predicted. I don't know too many people that thought that this fight was going to go the distance one way or the other, but ends in a knockout for Gervonta Tank Davis. And Rolly, after the fight, basically says that he said a lot of stuff that is just bananas. One, he said he thought that he was winning the fight. He had won all 6 rounds. I'm not sure how you win 6 rounds when you get knocked out in the 6th. But regardless, it was more like, man, if he doesn't get the fact that Gervonta Davis was setting him up that entire time, that's the problem. He thought he was winning that fight, but really what he was doing is setting himself out to get concussed, which is exactly what wound up happening in the 6th round, where Rolly Romero gets overconfident, over anxious, excessively comfortable in that ring, and Gervonta Davis counters him with a left hook, lights out, and that's all that there is for the fight. But Rolly says that he thinks that the referee did him wrong because he wanted to continue to fight, and that the referee had been biased for Gervonta Tank Davis the entire fight. Gervonta comes out on Twitter and says, look, if the referee would have allowed you to continue to fight, he knows that you've been walking out of there in a casket, and man, then ends it with ... ellipses, facts. Not too much argument with that one. Obviously, Gervonta Davis was going to knock that dude out cold if he would have continued to fight. More than likely, he just would have poured it on right then and there and got him out right there. Even if there was some miracle way that he would have gotten out of that fight, if he would have gotten out of that round and got some of his faculties back, it was just a matter of time before he did it to him again. But that's not what's on the referee's mind. The referee is looking at how he's responding in that particular moment. And Rolly's knees were buckling, didn't have real full support of his knees. Was basically put his gloves on the referee's chest, without the referee asking him to put his hands on his chest, to check the gloves, and said, nah, that's it, man. You are out in La La Land. And if you see Rolly, leave the ring immediately and go out through the crowd to leave, he didn't look like he had his senses the entire time there. But when he gets back to the press conference, by the time he gets to the press conference, and this is why I'm saying the man's sportsmanship was really, really shady or shallow, is because he basically acted like, I exposed Gervonta Davis. I won all 6 rounds. We need to run this back. No, man. No, you don't. You're not in the same class of fighter as him. First of all, you did not win 6 rounds. I think he might have been up on one card, and honestly, I think that one card was given Rolly the benefit of a lot of doubt. In my opinion, I had Rolly winning the 2nd round, and that was the round where pretty much Rolly threw Gervonta Davis down to the ground. Will clipped him in the back of the hit him in the back of the head with a hook and then pushed him to the ground. That was the only round that I gave to Rolly in that fight. But that fight, if he had gotten out of 6th round, he wasn't going to go to 8. No need for a rematch on that particular in that particular fight. And it is what it is. But, Gervonta Davis, for his part, at least, after the fight, after his initially going off on Rolly and running up to him, showed a lot of sportsmanship himself in the way that he behaved towards Rolly. He didn't rub it in and pretty much just gave Rolly his credit and said, hey, man, he fought a good fight. He's a tough, strong fighter. He'll give other guys a hard time if they fight him, but no need for a rematch because the guy was, it's just what it is, man. Rolly, for his part, man, just need to sit on that L, and that's all I can say to him. Just sit on the L, dude. You were not in charge of that fight. You were pretty much getting set up and suckered the entire time. I wish I, off the top of my head, could think of a good analogy for that, but I mean, it's just. He was just baiting you, walking you into the trap, right? Letting you feel like, being patient, going slow about it, fighting on the back foot, basically not initiating anything, and just let Rolly tire himself out a little bit, get too comfortable, and make a slip up and get hit with a big shot. And that really, I think, because after the fight, I had a live stream. You guys definitely make sure you guys check out the live streams we do every day around 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. And that was one of the things we discussed, and I think is missed on a lot of people when you're talking about really higher level fighters. They really are thinking 2-3 steps ahead. Rolly said that Gervonta said that he knew he had Rolly once he could set him up with his eyes. Right. Once he looked away, looked a certain way, looked a certain direction with his eyes, and Rolly was baited with where he was looking with his eyes. He's like, oh, I know I got him. It's only a matter of time before I set him up something and get him out of there. Rolly was never, ever really, Gervonta was never looking to win rounds in that fight. What he was looking to do was set him up for a big shot that he knew that Rolly Romero was not going to be able to recover from. And that's exactly what happened. For all these people out here talking about how, Rolly was winning the fight and this, man, that is nothing but, I don't want to say casual talk, but honestly, I don't know if there's a better way to describe it than that. That's just silliness. And Rolly is really, man, being a bad sport, even by talking about that and saying that you weren't going to win that fight. Honestly, you really should. The best route that Rolly could have taken was to give Gervonta Davis his credit and say, hey, Gervonta is a great fighter. Absolutely, man. Very big power. All of that. I hope to get a rematch again or whatever. But acting like you thought you were winning the fight or even if you were up on a scorecard through 6 rounds and you get knocked out cold in the 7th, man, nah, ain't nowhere going from that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. I respect Gervonta Davis's response to that. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.